You're listening to Healthy House Calls with Angel, where today we're talking about the 7 daily decisions you need to make for unbeatable success in every area of your life. Hello, welcome to Healthy House Calls with Angel. I am your host, Angel Shannon, giving you tips, tools, and holistic strategies to live a healthier life by intentional design. Join me as we explore the landscape of lifestyle medicine, offering practical tips that help you eat, sleep, move, and live better, and help you become fit and functional for life. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the show. Hello. Welcome to Healthy House Calls with Angel and the Fit and Functional for Life community. I'm Angel Shannon, your host, and I want to welcome you back to this community that believes that good health is so much more than just a normal physical and the weight on a scale. If you are brand new to this podcast and to this community, here's what I need you to know before we jump into today's content about 7 daily decisions that you need to make for unbeatable success in your life. Let me tell you a bit about this podcast and about this community. First and foremost, we believe that health is the first wealth. And because of that, we declare our physical, mental, and spiritual well-being to be our single most important priority. We value knowledge, wisdom, and most importantly, personal transformation. We believe that good health is so much more than just a normal physical and the weight on a scale. Good health is also the sense of harmony, balance, peace, purpose, and fulfillment we feel in our lives. We in this community are taking our health into our own hands by being informed and empowered. That is the mission of this podcast. We are learning how to take action and hold ourselves accountable. We prioritize rest, movement, mindfulness, optimal nutrition, spiritual growth, and meaningful work that aligns with our life's purpose. In a world overcome with burnout, I can't think of anything more important than having meaningful work that aligns with our life's purpose. In a nutshell, we are a community that desires to be fit and functional, not just for a day, not just for an event, but fit and functional for life. So welcome to our community. Welcome back to those of you who've been tuning in regularly. Thank you so much for giving me a bit of a time off, a pause. Over the last couple of weeks, I am just returning from a week's vacation in a very, very beautiful place, a place that I deeply love, Cozumel, Playa del Carmen, just a beautiful place and a place that I go to for deep rest and relaxation and to just immerse myself into the beauty of nature. I had a wonderful time swimming in cenotes, learning how to snorkel, visiting the beaches, went to Tulum, had a wonderful time immersing myself in local culture, spent a lot of time outdoors, getting tanned, and just ending the first quarter of 2022 with some joy and some intention. My deep belief is in resting so that I can reflect on my life, reflect on my work, and think about what I've learned, what I need to learn more of, where I want to go in my life and in my business, how I want to experience my life. So I'm a big believer in taking quarterly time off, whatever that time off looks like. If it happens to be that I can travel now, after, so many restrictions, then that's fine. If not, if it's even a staycation at home, this time it wasn't, thankfully, then I do that as well. But I really do believe in having time away to pause, reflect, renew, refresh, revitalize, and come back to my work with new eyes and a new sense of being. And while I was away, I was thinking about this podcast and thinking about the time. It's April now. We're going to be entering May. We're very close to that midway point in the year where there's probably a little bit of inertia that creeps in. Things start to slow down as it pertains to our goals. That sense of urgency that we have at the beginning of the year is sort of fading a little bit. And this is the point where a lot of those big goals that we identify in our resolutions or our intentions start to slip away. This is that point in time where people get a little tired. People decide, oh gosh, I can't do this, or people lose their motivation. And I really do believe, as a health coach and as a clinician, that all motivation really does come from within. We can listen to lots of different, podcasts and YouTube videos and read books and tweets and Facebook posts and Instagram and whatnot. But at the end of the day, our real motivation and inspiration has to come from a place within. And so I was asking myself, while I was away, what would I share with someone who is like me at this time of the year, who, needs that little extra spark, who needs that, that bit of wisdom to continue forging forth on their goals, on their plans, on their intentions, who's really desiring of some deep wisdom for, moving forward. What would I share? And I was lying on the beach thinking about this, and I said, you know what? I think it comes down to, in fact, I know that it comes down to the daily decisions that we make. Each one of us, the daily decisions. And I thought about what are the most important decisions that I have learned over the years that I know I need to make in order to succeed in my life, in order to move the ball forward, in order to maintain that sense of motivation and inspiration. What are those decisions that I know I make, that I need to make, and that people who I have identified as my own mentors, my own sort of guides, people who I consider to be highly successful, which I want to say success is determined differently by each one of us. So I'm not talking about people who are necessarily filthy rich or celebrities or whatnot. I'm talking about people who you identify or who I identify as being successful, who are living the life that mirrors the life that I desire to live, a life of balance and health and well-being and prosperity and inspiration and a life of service. Those are some of the ways that I define success. Who those people are. And when I look at them and I think about what are the decisions they make every day, I came up with this list that I want to share with you in this episode, because I know it has made a tremendous difference in my life and in the lives of those people who I've identified as my mentors, who are living the type of lifestyle that I have worked very hard to design in my own life. So let's dig into this list, these 7 daily decisions for unbeatable success in every area of your life. First and foremost, I think it's important that we state clearly that a decision is a determination. By definition, it is to determine. To make a decision is to make a determination. In fact, the Latin word for decision is actually decider, which means to literally cut off. De means off. Ceder means to cut. So we literally cut off any other possibilities. We make determinations. And I think we can agree that every big success that you've probably had in your life has come from making a decision, making a determination, and literally cutting yourself off from any other possibility, any other idea, but just making a determination, a settlement, an agreement with yourself, and moving forward into the direction of that determination. So I want to give you these 7 decisions that I believe are absolutely crucial to your success. Number one, making a determination for how you are going to make decisions about your goals, how you are going to set your goals, how you're going to rearrange them, how you're going to evaluate them, how you're going to determine which goals need to be put on the back burner so that you can move a different goal forward, how you're going to establish what is priority in your life, how you're going to manage your time and resources. Having a plan or a system in place and making a determination about that system is an important decision to make. It's an important decision to key in on every day. It's like going on a road trip and having an itinerary or having a roadmap. You would never try to go on a road trip without having at least an itinerary, a map of some sort. Once you get on the road, you know that you're going to keep looking back at your GPS to make sure that you're going in the right direction, to make sure that the road isn't going to be closed off ahead of you with a detour that's going to take you 5 hours out of the way. You're always going to have something, a point of reference in front of you to make sure that you are on the right path. So every day, determination number one is determining what system you are going to rely upon and create and tune into every single day of your life to be sure that you are on the path towards success in the way that you want to move toward that success, that you have a way of doing something. I'm going to use this acronym that comes from nursing practice, ADPI, that you have a system for A, assessment, D, for diagnosing, or, the word diagnose means just to identify, that P for plan, I for implement, and E for evaluation. ADPI. You need to be working that ADPI every single day of your life. Assess, diagnose, plan, implement, and evaluate. Making a determination about what that system is going to look like, where it's going to live, whether it lives on your phone or in an app or on a day planner. In my case, I'm a paper planner. I've done all of the digital things upside and down, but I'm a person who lives visually. I'm very, very driven toward visual learning and visual mapping and, seeing things laid out in front of me. And so my goals and my system lives inside of that day planner. And in fact, I always say if it's not on my calendar, it's not going to get done. So whether it be a phone call or something I need to mail or a birthday card or whatever it may be, if it doesn't exist on my calendar, it does not happen, right? So number one daily decision and daily determination is that you will have a system of some sort to be able to constantly and consistently set, rearrange, evaluate, and strengthen your purpose and your goals. Number one decision. Decision number 2 is a plan for what you intend to do with your present resources, your money, and the people in your life. I think those are 2 very important resources to be honed into and tuned into every single day of your life. And the reason why I am identifying people as resources is because I do not believe that success exists in a vacuum. I do not believe in the self-made whatever, self-made millionaire, self-made success. I don't believe that any of us are successful because of our own efforts. I believe in the 6 degrees of separation. I believe in the power of co-creation. And I know that everything that I have become in my life is a direct result of those people that have fed into my life, who have nurtured my goals, my progress, who've provided access to information or things that I did not have, blind spots that I did not see. So having a decision every day about how you are going to nurture and use your resource of the people who are in your life, that you can sow into their growth and progress, and they can sow into yours, because I believe in reciprocity, is an important decision. What relationships do you have that need to be nurtured this week? What relationships, who are the people that you need to reach out to just to check in and see how they are doing, how you can serve them, how you can feed into their lives so that there's this reciprocal process of growth and evolution, right? So how you are going to, navigate through that is a decision to be made every day. Another important decision is how you are going to use your financial resources, your money, wisely. Okay? Because we know that, money is a powerful resource, and we make decisions with our money. When we purchase certain brands, when we purchase certain products, that is a decision that we are making. We are deciding that we are going to support the mission or the values of the organizations that we give our money to. And I make the argument that we also vote with our money, right? So how you are going to spend your money wisely every day is a decision that needs to be made. What money do I have this week to invest in a course? What money do I have to set aside for a workshop? What money do I have to set aside for a retreat or a program that helps me move my life closer to the goals that I have established for myself? What money do I have to invest in a nutritionist, in a coach, in a personal trainer, if I have a weight loss goal? Establishing what that financial resource looks like and making a decision about your money is an important daily decision to be made, because we can all agree that, there's this thing called, death by 1,000 pecks. It is not easy. It's not difficult to wind up with a zero balance in a bank account after a debit here, a debit there, another debit here, another debit there. And before you know it, that financial resource that you're looking for that course or for that business idea or for that coach is just whittled down further and further and further. And then it becomes, well, maybe next month I'll have enough money to bring on a coach. Maybe next month I'll have the money to invest in that course. And next month never comes. So it's death by 1,000 pecks. Rarely do we just go in our bank accounts and spend, $500 on something. But often and frequent do we spend $500 in $5 increments. $5 here, $10 there, another $5 here. And before you know it, the resources that we need, the financial resources that we need to move ourselves closer to our goals gets whittled away. So that's decision number 2, daily decision number 2 for success. Number 3, a decision about how you are going to spend your time for the day. I make the argument that most of our success, the opportunities for our success, are right underneath our nose. They really are. Opportunities that present themselves every single day for a conversation with someone who's standing right in front of us who may have the answer to what we've been looking for. Might be right underneath our noses, right? How you are going to spend the 24 hours in front of you so that you don't miss the opportunities that present themselves every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year is absolutely important. Some opportunities come around again and some never do. Some opportunities only present themselves within certain seasons, seasons of the year and seasons of your life. So having a plan, a detailed plan about how you are going to spend your time every day is important. If you have a weight loss goal, are you really going to wake up every single morning and spend 1 hour scrolling through social media? Are you really going to lose one whole hour, 60 minutes of your day by scrolling through social media or looking at, whatever news is on the TV that is not news? Can you get your news all in one, feed? Can you use things like Google Alerts and set it up so that you're following certain news outlets? You put it into a feed and you check that one time a day after you've done those 3 most important things you need to get done for the day. Okay. So having a clear plan about how you're going to spend your time. Again, for me, this goes back to number 1, which is my day planner. Having my day laid out, my plan for my time is important. I know that there are certain things that I do on Mondays that have to be done because it makes everything else possible for the rest of the week. If I get those top shelf things done on Mondays, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., I know that the rest of the day and the rest of the week is going to unfold very well. They are not things I'm going to put off until the end of the week or the middle of the week, right? So having a clear plan about how I am going to structure my day is important. There are certain things I don't even do in the morning. I don't check email in the morning. Now, that may go against some conventional wisdom, but I'm a person who I will get so caught up in answering emails that I will waste at least an hour and a half. It's the equivalent of some people's social media. Oh, I've got to answer this email, and then I want to sound politically correct. And then, oh gosh, I forgot to include this. I've got to include an attachment. I mean, it's just too much. And so having a plan for how I'm going to answer emails, when I'm going to answer them, how much time I'm going to spend on them is part of a daily decision I need to make. Daily decision. So I have a daily plan for how I am going to spend my time. And let me tell you something. Research says, there's some statistics that say that if you have a daily plan for how you are going to spend your time, that puts you in the top 5% of the population. That only 5% of the people, and the world's population now, have an established plan of how they are going to spend their time. And those people tend to be more successful in achieving their goals than any other group. That's saying a whole lot. So you want to be in that top 5% of people who have a clear plan for what they are going to do with the 24 hours in front of them, the 7 days ahead of them, the 30 or 31 days ahead of them, how they are going to spend their time. And making that determination every single day is an important key factor for your success. Decision number 4, you want to have a clear plan for how you are going to gain new knowledge and curate your ideas. Okay, because growth and success comes by way of knowledge. It comes by way of learning. It comes by way of identifying where your blind spots are. It comes by way of having new perspectives, new information, new resources. It's like this sort of this growth process, this pouring water. Having a plan for gathering knowledge and ideas is like pouring water on your goals, like you would pour water on a plant so that it can grow new leaves and new roots. Having a plan for gathering knowledge and ideas is like pouring water on your goals. So having a plan for lectures, seminars, what you're going to read, what books are you going to be reading today? What articles are you going to be reading? I'll tell you something. I am very leery of people who don't have a plan for gaining knowledge. Now, gaining knowledge for everyone is different. Some people are very audio driven. They listen to podcasts and take notes. Some people, read books. Some people watch, videos and things like this. My desire and hope is that people be in the pursuit of knowledge and ideas in the way that is most accessible and meaningful for them. I'm a big reader. And so in my daily life, there is a plan for my reading time, for my learning time. There's built-in time for learning. 2 days a week are carved out of my schedule. There's block time for reading. My goal is if I read 10 pages in the morning and 10 pages at night, that's 300 pages by the end of the month. That gets me through a book a month. That's my preference. I'm also a podcast listener. When I'm driving along and going to appointments, I'm always listening to a podcast. Always. I have apps that I use that provide transcription, so that I can have those notes to put in my journal. So having a process and a plan for gathering knowledge on a daily basis, consistently and constantly, is key to your success in achieving your goals. You need a plan for curating the knowledge that you gain in a way that moves your life forward. Because there's an old saying, rarely does a good idea interrupt you. Good ideas have to be pursued. That's what one of my mentors says. Good ideas have to be pursued. Seek and you shall find. You have to go in search of ideas, in search of knowledge. It's not going to just drop out of the sky. So if your goal this year is to lose, 20 pounds, 25 pounds, then the pursuit of knowledge in how to get there on a daily and consistent basis is important. What do I need to be eating? How many, calories do I need to be burning? How many steps do I need to be walking? Do I need to track how much I'm walking? Do I have an app or a journal or some place that I'm, tracking these things and monitoring these things? Do I need to do intermittent fasting? What is intermittent fasting all about? What would that look like for someone who's trying to lose 20 pounds? What does it involve? What do I need to do? Constantly learning and curating what you learn in a space that you can come back to. For me, I live and breathe by journal practice. That is my place for curating new knowledge. I have multiple journals. I have a personal journal. I also have a business journal. So whenever I'm sitting in and on a seminar or a Zoom event or a presentation, lecture, whatever it may be, I'm constantly writing what I learn in my business journal. Names of the people that I've met during the seminar, during the lecture. When we were collecting business cards, taping those business cards in my journal, highlighting, going back, reviewing those notes, constantly curating new knowledge and new ideas, looking for seminars. I have an idea section, or I have a, TBD section, to be determined, or, for things that I'm just thinking about, seminars and workshops. Even if I cannot attend that seminar or workshop right now, it still goes down in my journal because it's part of that knowledge and the ideas that I know will help me move closer to successfully achieving my goals. So that's decision number 4 every day. What is your plan for gathering new knowledge and new ideas? Making a list of the podcasts that you need to listen to, making a list of the YouTube channels, if you're a visual learner like I am, that you want to key into, and subscribing to them so that you don't miss the notifications and you don't miss the new information that's coming out. Having a plan for library books that you want to pick up or magazines that you read, and then doing that, and then carving out block time for learning. I think this is one of the most important keys to success is having blocked time on your schedule for learning and gathering and curating new ideas. Okay, that's decision number 4. Decision number 5, every day, a clear plan of association, a clear plan of the people that you are going to surround yourself with. People who have common interest in progress, in success, in ideas, in values, and in philosophy. My mentor says, never mistake the power of influence. Never, never mistake the power of influence. And one of the biggest misconceptions is when I hear people say, oh, it doesn't bother me. Oh, Facebook, all the negativity, or, Twitter or LinkedIn, wherever, Instagram, the work environment, whatever. Oh, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because if it doesn't bring you up, it either brings you down or it keeps you right where you are. Never mistake the power of influence. And every day you want to be making the decision and making a plan to get around the right people. Get around the people who are reading, people who are growing, people who are changing, and more importantly, people who are evolving. Because see, evolving is the process of becoming something new, someone new, of growing, of moving in new directions. You will know when people are not growing, when you see that they are literally in the same place, day after day, year after year, with fixed mindset, with rigid ideas and rigid beliefs. And unfortunately, there are people like that. And if you want to spend your time trying to argue them down or make them change or change their beliefs or drag them along, you can do that. That is your choice. But at the end of the day, again, that is a decision. And you have to decide whether you are in what I call the dragging horses to water business. I've made up my mind that, there's only a certain amount of time that I have on this planet. And I don't know how much time that is. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. And I don't even have the desire to drag people out of the place that they find comfort in, whatever that comfort is. I want to preserve my resources, my time, and my energy for those who are in pursuit of knowledge and growth, who want to grow financially, personally, spiritually, socially. That's where I've made the decision I want to invest my time, energy, and resources. And so that is a decision to be made every single day about the environment that you're in and the association you have with people of common interest, progress, success, ideas, values, and philosophy. And doing that little check-in and check-up on a daily basis is good practice. Okay. Decision number 6, a plan for the development of your own personal skills. We live in a time now that you can teach yourself almost anything that you want to learn. A foreign language, emotional skills, emotional regulation, meditation, how to garden, how to, change your own tire or what have you. I mean, there's so many things that you can learn and teach yourself these days. And having a timetable and a plan for developing as many skills as you can, and not necessarily skills that always relate to making more money and things like this, but skills that can be directly applied to your life, the skill of language, the skill of emotional regulation, the skill of diplomacy, the skill and the art of negotiation, and learning how to ask for the things that you want or need in your life. So a decision every day about how you are going to develop your personal skills that can be directly applied to your life is an important decision to be made every single day. And it's a decision that people who are highly successful in their lives. And I'm not talking about necessarily celebrities or people who are filthy rich. I'm talking about people who have achieved a lifestyle that where there is, health and harmony and balance and a sense of purpose and joy and happiness. That is a decision that people who have achieved that level of success in their lives make every single day. How they are going to develop themselves emotionally, mentally, and physically. That's an important decision to be made. And the last decision number 7 of my 7 daily decisions for success in your life, in every area of your life. The last decision you want to be making every day is a decision for how you are going to live and enjoy your life as it exists today. I believe in the power of gratitude. I believe in the power of learning how to live well, how to enjoy your time on this planet, how to enjoy the money that you are working so hard to earn, how to enjoy your family, how to enjoy your life. Because let's face it, and unless there's some other thing that I don't know, you can't take any of this stuff with you. Human life is all about experience. It's all about evolving, evolution, growing, learning, becoming, constantly shedding skin, healing wounds, opening ourselves to higher, ideas and a greater sense of purpose and being and existing on the planet. And so at the end of the day, learning how to live your life well is an important decision to be made. And only you can determine that. Am I going to live a life where I'm just working 7 days a week, 24/7, 365? There's a one of my mentors says, do you have a 9-to-5 or a 24/7, 365, right? And I don't want to, make little of the importance of work, because we all need to work to gain an income, but we also need time away and time, to think about other things other than work. And in a time now with such incredible burnout, I think it's important that we begin to gain skills in learning how to exist outside of the definition of work, outside of that part of us that is defined by work. Let me put it that way. Far too often in this discussion about burnout, we're looking at institutions, we're looking at companies, we're looking at the government, we're looking at all of these things outside of ourselves, but rarely are we having the discussion about our own decisions, our own, beliefs and hidden beliefs and mindset about money, about hustle, about grind, about that whole 24/7, 365 hustle culture that many of us bought into before the pandemic started, that the pandemic really just revealed. The financial decisions that we make about stuff and needing to have more stuff, and even more stuff that creates more bills and makes us have to work longer hours so that we can never take a vacation and never go away because of the stuff that we've made decisions about and made decisions that we have to have because we have a belief about ourselves that is wrapped around that definition of what those things mean. Okay. And so we have to be honest with ourselves about the decisions that we are making every day on this list and how those decisions impact our ability to achieve our goals, but also to design the life that we know we want and that we deserve. Designing the life we desire and deserve. The life of success, of wild success, unbeatable success, really is wrapped around the decisions that we are making in these 7 areas of our lives every single day. And if we're honest about that, and if we dig into that, and if we create a process for reviewing that and evaluating that, I make the argument we can achieve radical success in our lives if we make decisions about these 7 things and in these 7 areas every single day. So let me wrap this up by just running through this list again. Okay, decision number 1, having a plan and process, an itinerary, a system for setting, rearranging, evaluating, strengthening your purpose and your goals every single day. Okay, and checking into that system and that process every day. Decision number 1. Decision number 2, a plan for how you intend to work with your present resources wisely. Those resources being money and the people in your life. Decision number 3, a plan for what you're going to do, how you're going to spend your time, the 24 hours in front of you that you have. Not yesterday that's gone, but the time that you have available to you. Having a detailed plan of your schedule, of your priority or priorities, for the day, for the week, for the month. Okay. Decision number 4, a clear plan for the gathering of new knowledge and new ideas that move your life forward, whether that be lectures, seminars, books, workshops, whatever it may be, but having a clear plan and making a decision every day about how you are going to gain new knowledge, even if it's just listening to one podcast and saying, okay, I checked that one off for today. I gained some new knowledge today by listening to XYZ. I gained some new knowledge today by reading 10 pages of my book in the morning, 10 pages in the evening. 30 days from now, I will have read 300 pages and I will be finished with one whole book for the month. And if you can read faster than that, read 20 pages in the morning and 20 pages in the evening, you'll read that 300-page book in half the time. And there aren't that many books that are 300 pages. Trust me. Okay. Decision number 5, a clear plan about how you are going to be in association with other people. Who are the people that you are going to get yourself around? How are you going to make a plan to get around the right people who are growing and changing and evolving and growing financially, personally, spiritually, socially, people who have common interest in progress, in success, in ideas, in values, making that decision every single day of how you are going to do that and execute that is important for your success. Decision number 6, a plan for how you're going to develop your own personal skills. Okay. Skills that if they gain more money for you, great, but personal skills that can be immediately applied to your life. Language skills, communication skills, negotiation skills, all of those types of personal emotional regulation skills, all of those personal skills that really do apply to you and you alone for your personal growth and development. And then decision number 7 is a decision about how you are going to enjoy your life, how you're going to weave gratitude and joy and happiness into your life so that you are living well. Living well, however your definition of well unfolds. Okay? That's what I want to offer to you in this episode of Healthy House Calls with Angel in April. And this will probably come out in May by the time it goes through my editor. First week in May. Good time for just rebooting, getting back on the horse, overcoming inertia, getting a little bit more motivation, infusing some optimism into your life so that you keep moving forward, that you keep moving forward in your life. That is the goal of this podcast, this particular episode. I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope that it has given you some things to think about, some systems to put in place for your success. You can't manage what you don't measure and monitor. So I do hope that this has been helpful for you, this little mini coaching session, because I want to do more of that this year in the podcast. I want to give you the science of lifestyle medicine and functional medicine, but I also want to weave in some more direct coaching tips for you to learn how to self-coach your way to success, because I think that's really super important. If you are looking for a place to do these kinds of things that I've talked about in this podcast, I invite you to check out the Fit and Functional for Life community, because this is what we're all about. We're a community of Gen Xers. And I happen to be a Gen Xer, so that's who's in the community. We're a community of Gen Xers. We're people who are trying to live our life with a sense of purpose, balance, peace, harmony, work-life integration. We're working on, gaining new skills, new knowledge, managing stress, mitigating stress, learning meditation skills, working on weight, living healthier lifestyles. We just really want to be fit and functional, not just for a day, not just for an event, but fit and functional for life. I invite you to check out the Fit and Functional for Life community. 2 weeks that you don't have to spend a dime. You can join, check it out, take it for a test drive, see if it's right for you. I know you're going to love it, because everything that we cover in this podcast is what we focus on in the community. So check it out at www.getfitandfunctionalforlife.com. Tune into the show notes, because the link to the community, I generally put right there in the show notes. Also, if you don't get my newsletter, Healthy House Calls with Angel, you want to sign up for that too, because I've got a lot of information that I put in that newsletter about a variety of things: gut health, hormone balance, which is key in this stage of life for, Gen Xers who may be perimenopausal, menopausal, having difficulty sleeping, managing anxiety in a world that is overcome with anxiety. So that newsletter is chock full of really good information. I would encourage you to get on that list at www.healthyhousecallswithangel.com. The same name as this podcast is also the URL for the newsletter. So I hope that this episode has been helpful for you. I hope it gives you a lot of things to think about. I want to hear from you. I want to hear if it has been helpful for you, what thoughts it has generated for you, how you are going to apply these tips, tools, and strategies in your life, and how lifestyle medicine is helping you to live longer and live better. If you have a show topic, something you want to learn more about or hear more about, please do send me an email, angel@sifahealthgroup.com. My contact information is in the show notes. I'd be happy to consider that for a upcoming episode, because that really is the goal, is that we really do share useful and practical knowledge and wisdom that you can integrate into your life. So don't be shy. please do use that link. There's also a link in there that's, linked to my calendar. Ask Me Almost Anything every Wednesday. If you drop a question on that, use that link and drop a question. If you want to do it anonymously, that is fine too. If I've mentioned something on this podcast that you want to ask a question about, use that link. Ask Me Almost Anything. The link is in the show notes, So just click on that, put your question in there, and I will answer that question either on an upcoming episode or on my social feed. So if you follow me, you can find me at Angel V Shannon on Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm at same thing, Angel V Shannon, and as well on Facebook. And you can always just send me an email. That's fine too. So with that, I'm going to close out. I'm going to wish you well for the remainder of April, if it drops before the end of the month, and success for your May, for your Q2. Wishing you all the best. And as I always say, be well and be good to yourself, and never, ever, 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 ever be afraid to be amazing. Take good care. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to Healthy House Calls with Angel. I hope today's episode leaves you feeling inspired, motivated, and empowered to live your best life by applying the practical tools of holistic lifestyle medicine to eat, sleep, move, and live better. Please don't forget to subscribe wherever you receive this podcast. Check in for show notes and share this podcast with friends. If you'd like even more tips in your inbox, subscribe to my newsletter, Healthy House Calls with Angel, by using the link in the show description. Until next time, be well and be good to yourself.